boy lost his life. A boy had to take a life. This is something that's going to scar people.
It's something that you can accomplish in life and say, hey, I went back and did this. I love it.
The news continues with the Knights team. Alice Carone, Brad Wright, Scott Murray, and Harold Taft. And now, Channel 5 News Tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Alice has the night off. For the second time in a week, an American Airlines jet has been grounded because of a bomb threat.
A flight from DFW to Richmond, Virginia made an emergency landing tonight. Another note about a bomb was found on that plane. Channel 5's Jim Herrera joins us with the latest on that incident and the threat earlier this week. Tim?
Brad, as Flight 874 headed for Richmond, a note was found that said a bomb would go off when the plane reached a certain altitude. That plane touched down in Richmond, and the FBI and Virginia State Police began searching for a bomb and questioning passengers and crew.
125 passengers and 7 crew members were on this plane. Everyone on board deplaned within minutes of touchdown. Special sniffing dogs were brought in to search for possible explosives.
People jumped up at first to get their belongings, but then they told us to sit down again and just sit down and stay calm.
It was pretty tough. When I was sitting there eating my lunch, and they came on and said, we just had a bomb threat and we're going to be serious about it. And so when they were serious, I got serious.
American Airlines refuses to comment. One source said the carrier did not want to perpetuate more copycat incidents of the bomb threat earlier this week. 2 days ago, a flight from DFW to San Francisco had to land in Albuquerque. 40-year-old Peter Canning handed a flight attendant a note about bombs and guns on board. Authorities had charged Canning, but now charges have been dropped. An 11-year-old boy who'd been on that flight earlier Tuesday admitted writing the note. Because of the tragic bombing of Pan Am Flight 103, security at Middle East and Western Europe airports is being tightened. That includes mandatory X-ray of all baggage, and all bags must be matched with passengers.
And in the event that a passenger then is not on board that airplane or withdraws from the manifest of that airplane, then those bags are retrieved and taken off the aircraft.
FAA Administrator McCarter says the inconvenience to passengers is outweighed by the added safety. As far as Flight 874, it's been given clearance to head to Norfolk. That's its final destination.
All right, Tim, thank you. An investigation into the killing of a burglar by an Arlington teenager 2 weeks ago has unraveled a chilling tale.
It involves a gang of young thieves led by a man compared to Charles Manson. Channel 5's Jim Douglas reports tonight on efforts to link that man to one person's death and one family's tragedy.
Where's the burglar? He's in there. He's dead. The burglar's been shot? Yes, my brother shot him.
That dramatic 911 emergency recording captured the violent end of a bizarre burglary. 14-year-old Buddy Hollingsworth shot to death 18-year-old Doug Collins as Collins nearly killed Buddy's father. The sheer stupidity of the break-in puzzled detectives. Then a man recently jailed on a separate burglary charge laid it all out.
He wanted to steal both his wallet and his impact card.
Arlington detective Tom Lenore believes the man with the information was actually Collins's partner who instigated the burglary, then fled when Collins was shot. Neighbors saw a car matching one driven by the suspect. The man even admits he was there, but denies involvement and refuses to sign a statement.
I have no physical evidence and I have no eyewitness evidence.
Informants use frightening terms to describe the man who they claim led a band of teenage burglars.
It's Charles Manson. They also basically stated that this accomplice referred to them as his family.
Detectives believe the suspect was the leader of a gang of innovative burglars who used this high-powered slingshot and ball bearing to shoot out car windows from a distance. And they knew that if no one reacted to the noise, they were safe to steal whatever was inside. Investigators believe Collins and the suspect used that method to break into Hollingsworth's car. But breaking into cars is not what motivates Tom Lenore to tie the suspect to this crime.
A boy lost his life. A boy had to take a life. A man, of course, was injured very severely. A young girl had to witness all this. It's something that's going to scar people.
Jim Douglas, Channel 5 News Tonight, Arlington.
A special commission is recommending something Congress hasn't been able to do in more than a decade: close military bases. 86 are on the list, and the Pentagon is expected to approve them all. That will save more than $600 million a year, but it will cost Galveston a new naval home port. It's being built now, but it will never be finished. In addition, basic training at Fort Bliss in El Paso is being moved east. But on the whole, Texas will gain about 2,000 jobs, most of them at Shepherd Air Force Base in Wichita Falls, Bergstrom Air Force Base in Austin, and Ingleside Naval Air Station near Corpus. The credit, or the blame, is as much Congressman Dick Armey's as anybody's. He helped organize the plan to cut the military, then lobbied for it. But he says he is pro-defense.
But I thought, here's a chance where you can cut the fat, eliminate the waste, save tax dollars, and improve on the mission of the organization.
But another Texas congressman, Jack Brooks, says political appointees have no business deciding which bases to close since they don't have to face the voters.
Larry, the government has come to the rescue of 12 more insolvent Texas savings and loans. None of the failed thrifts are in the Metroplex, but one of the buyers is. Centex Corporation has bought 4 savings and loans in Burnett, Giddings, Johnson City, and Llano, and will reopen tomorrow under the name of Texas Trust Savings Bank of Dallas. A Texas subsidiary of a Taiwanese company is buying the other 8 thrifts. The FSLIC will assist in the takeover, pledging more than $500 million.
When we come back tonight, steroids. Would you believe that, in a manner of speaking, everyone is on them? Dr. Bob Lanier will be in to explain that.
We'll also check to find out how Texas teams fared in the national cheerleading competition.
Then a bit later, did you read about all those high school kids who knew nothing about economics? Well, it turns out they aren't the only ones in the dark. We'll be right back.
Christmas. Every year it's the same thing. Loud sweaters, bad ties, pecan logs. But for a limited time, your Pontiac dealers are sending something different down the chimney.
Through Saturday only, hundreds of Pontiacs are marked with each dealer's lowest sale price. Time is running out to get cash back. Save up to $1,600 on Grand Ams with special option groups.
And if your chimney isn't big enough to fit a car in, don't worry.
See your Performance Pontiac dealers.
Shopping at department store white sales could be a waste of money because smart shoppers save even more money at Marshall's for the same brand names. At Marshall's, bed pillows in all sizes are just $4.99. Brand name bath towels are just $3.99. And elegant, stylish comforter sets in all sizes with sham and bed ruffle are just $59.99. That's a lot less than department store white sale prices. So goodbye department stores and hello Marshall's.
Marshall's, department store brand names for less every day.
How safe is the meat we eat? The Europeans are concerned about the hormone-treated cattle we raise here and export there.
So this Sunday, the European Economic Community will ban hormone-treated beef, and Dr. Bob Lanier says that has sparked a debate on the use of such steroids in our food supply.
Well, it's a debate that no one really knows all the answers to yet, but ranchers and cattle pen operators use steroids for about the same reason many athletes do. In fact, that's probably where the athletes learned about these drugs. They produce more muscle and less fat faster.
Raising beef is a pretty inefficient business. A lot of feed goes in for the amount of meat produced, but the process can be speeded up with the use of growth hormones or steroids. There are 3 natural hormones and 2 synthetic hormones used in growth enhancement. The natural hormones are well understood since they are made normally by every mammal alive each day. According to FDA studies, in order to ingest from beef the same amount of steroids as a normal adult male makes each day, a person would have to consume 1,500 pounds of treated meat. In order to get as much as a pregnant lady might make in a day would require eating several million pounds of meat.
Well, the only flaw in all the safety arguments is with the newer synthetic hormones. Now, the FDA has set standards, but there aren't many studies available yet, and they can't measure one of the synthetic steroids at all. I was a little surprised at that, since usually our Food and Drug Administration is the toughest and most conservative in the world. Despite that, scientists from Europe and this country agree that meat from treated animals is safe. The whole argument seems to be more political than medical, although I personally will feel a little bit better about it when newer studies come out. Vegetarians, this is your day.
So it would seem. Thanks very much, Doctor. Sports news is coming up next, and for football fans, it just keeps on coming. Tim will have news of the Freedom and the All-American Bowl.
And the Dallas Mavericks are hoping to win as they take on the formidable Boston Celtics. Stay with us.
The drive is on. Mazda's year-end sales drive. It's already the biggest sales year in Mazda history, but your Mazda dealer wants to close it out with a bang. So he's making remarkable year-end deals on 323s, on 626s, even on the red-hot MX-6. So get to your Mazda dealers today and drive one home.
Come drive a Mazda.
See your Metroplex Mazda dealer today.
Tickets for Webb.
We interrupt this purchase for a reminder.
Here we go.
There's another decision worth entertaining.
Very smart.
Choosing a card that actually pays you cash. Cash back for every charge. The Discover card. It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back.
It's on now, Wick's Furniture's biggest. Everything at Wick's Furniture is reduced, so you save on furniture for every room in your home.
Save big, 10 to 70%.
Be here when the doors open. No payments or finance charges for 90 days with a Wick's charge. The biggest sale of the year, now in progress.
Tim's English Sports News, a rare win tonight for the Mavericks.
Well, it helps that Larry Bird wasn't playing in this game, but still, Celtics are a very good team without him. So, and I'm sure the Mavericks will take a win over the Celtics no matter who's in the lineup. So it's only the second time it's happened. With having beaten the Celtics only once, though, in the team's history, the Mavericks knew it would be very tough, and they'd need a special effort tonight to make it twice, and that's exactly what they did, but it was a battle. Mavs jump out quick, though. Derek Harper splits the seam. Watch that. Nice move by Derek. Goes in with the left hand. 40 points for Dallas in the first period, their highest scoring period this year. Dallas continues to put the offensive on here. Nice passing, Rolando Blackman to Aguirre. He had 15 points in the first half, finished with 22. Mavs continue to run. Roy Tarpley to Brad Davis, goes back to Tarpley. He finishes with 19 points and 11 rebounds. Then in the fourth, Rolando Blackman puts it away after the Celtics made a late run. He finished with a game-high 33 points, and Dallas wins it, beating the Celtics 131 to 115.
I thought our guys played very well. We were strong throughout. We moved the ball. We controlled things defensively for the most part, and we're very, very happy. Boston is a tremendous team.
I think the fact that we were able to beat them tonight really set things real good for us.
Two other finals in the NBA. Washington beat Houston 126-109. That means that the Mavericks are now back in first place in the Midwest Division in front of the Rockets, and Chicago wins a game beating the always tough Knicks 108-106. Florida against Illinois. This game is, of course, going on right now in its first play from scrimmage. Emmitt Smith takes a pitch, explodes down the sideline. He's gone 55 yards for the touchdown. Gators lead it 7-0. This is the All-American Bowl in Birmingham, Alabama. Florida down 10-7. Smith again takes it in from 10 yards out. Fourth quarter, late in that game, Florida is hanging on. They just scored again, 14-10, the score right now with just a couple of minutes to play. And the Freedom Bowl in Anaheim, California. BYU against Colorado. First quarter, BYU Sean Coffey goes straight over the middle to Mike Salido. He ties the score with the touchdown. That makes it 7 apiece. Second quarter, the Buffaloes come back. Eric Bieniemy goes in from 2 yards, and that makes it 14-7. That's where they stand right now. Colorado leading Brigham Young 14-7 in the third period. Arkansas's football team visited the Scottish Rite Hospital this afternoon after practice at the Cotton Bowl. It gave the team a chance to take a break from their hectic Cotton Bowl schedule, and it was obviously a welcome change for the kids. It's, of course, difficult to keep your mind on football with all of the events surrounding the game, but the Hogs think they're ready for the Bruins.
The first day it was driving rainstorm, but we went out there and we really executed well. I was proud of the team, the way they picked back up on the mental aspect of it after being off for about 8 days. And so the last 2 days have been really nice. The weather's been great out in the Cotton Bowl.
Guys are ready. We've been sitting around a while, and we've got a couple more days to go. We've had good practices. We've had a great intensity level, and I think the guys are ready for the challenge.
After leading the Cincinnati Bengals to a 12-4 record, quarterback Boomer Esiason was named the NFL's most valuable player by the Associated Press today. All he did was turn things completely around. They finished 4-11 last year. And the AP also named Chicago head coach Mike Ditka the NFL's Coach of the Year. They finished also with a 12-4 record this year. And Ditka was given most of the credit because several key players, such as Walter Payton, Wilbur Marshall, Otis Wilson, Willie Gault, and Jim McMahon either have retired, been traded, or injured, or have gone because of free agency. So you can see that a lot of names have changed in Chicago, and a lot of people think they're still a very good team, but Ditka's done it with a lot of no-name players, so he deserves that award. And they're playing Philadelphia on Saturday, which could be a good game. Buddy Ryan going up against Ditka.
That is going to be
I think those two are going to go on the field and face each other, and the players will stay on the sidelines.
Ditka might need to sit that one out for his health.
Yeah, really for his health. See you later.
Thanks, Jim. Well, what is usually a sideline sport took center stage in Dallas tonight. High school cheerleaders from all across the country were vying for top national honors, and our Marty Griffin says some local squads were pretty impressive.
The 12-member Duncanville Panthers varsity cheerleading squad, simply stated by the experts, the second best large varsity squad in the country. They are energetic, athletic, and extremely enthusiastic, and they'll be the first to tell you.
Cheerleading is a sport. It's not something. We're more at risk than a lot of sports players throwing girls around and stuff. I mean, it depends on everybody. Everybody has to catch. Everybody has to do everything. It can't be a one-person thing. It's a whole team.
Close to 400 teams from 30 states made the trip to Dallas this week for this year's National Cheerleaders Association Championships. The teams performed amazing routines before thousands of people. This is not what most people think of as cheerleading. This is serious stuff.
Not just any cute girl can be a cheerleader out there. It takes a real special athlete, someone who's determined, who's got lots of guts and lots of courage and wants to spend a lot of time in an activity that will make them grow as an individual.
In the tumbles and twirls and cartwheels, it's easy to get caught up in the competition of this event, the drive to win. Still, the competitors seem to enjoy this for a lot more than the bright lights and the trophies.
It's something that you can accomplish in life and say, hey, I went back and did this, and it's real. I love it.
That's an attitude that pervades this arena, an attitude that made many of the folks here want to jump up and cheer. Marty Griffin, Channel 5 News Tonight.
Now, besides Duncanville, other local winners tonight, R.L. Turner placed 3rd, Euless 11th. In junior high competition, Duncanville Reed finished 9th, Duncanville 10th, and Duncanville also placed 1st in junior varsity.
Well, turning to weather now, today's weather might lead you to believe we'll be ushering in the new year with sunshine.
And you might be right, but then again, Harold has his forecast when our news continues.
We're looking at the thermometer right here at Channel 5 is 39 degrees. The sky is overcast. The winds are picking up a little bit out of the southeast. Now, we started out today with a reading of 26 early this morning. That was just shortly after dawn. 45 has been the high. That was about 4:30 this afternoon. Normally, temperatures will range from 35 to 55, so we were below normal for the day, but close to that which we observed a year ago today, 27 to 36. May I show you the high temperatures of the day? And I show you the high temperatures because they are the most representative of the air and the air masses that cover us. And 49 to 48 right here in the Metroplex. Meacham Field, Dallas Love Field. And then this is Mineral Wells, and there's Stephenville, and there's Waco. So you see just all right in the upper 40s, near 50 in that region. Now down along the coast, 50s. At Houston, there's Victoria, 55. And then here's 65 degrees at Corpus Christi, 65 degrees at Beeville, where the president's been hunting, the president-elect, and 73 down at Brownsville. Temperatures back up in the Panhandle, the high plains, a little cooler, but then remember, too, now, the elevation a little bit higher there also. Satellite imagery. We can just see the jet stream right across here and the clouds associated with it. And watch how it moves. These winds are about 150 to 170 miles an hour through here, which means that if you were flying from, say, Del Rio up to Chicago or over to New York, you'd get there in a big hurry tonight. All right, the 10 o'clock analysis. This warm front, this is actually the cold front that pushed south. Now it's starting to come back as a warm front. The winds are still out of the east-northeast down along the coast, and shower activity is increasing down here in the southeast corner of Texas and southwestern Louisiana. Our winds are east, coming around into southeast. They're southerly back up here in the high plains and in the Panhandle area. Temperatures, current readings as of 10 o'clock, 44 to 43 here in the Metroplex, 31 Wichita Falls, up at Amarillo the same. It's 69 down at Brownsville, warming up there, 58 at Corpus Christi, 47 at Houston. And this 44 degrees is the report from Meacham Field. This is the report from Dallas Love Field. On the national analysis, you can see the clouds covering the central part of the country. Most of this is high cloudiness, however, but still an extensive snow area across Minnesota, up into the Canadian provinces, and up in the Pacific Northwest. The East Coast is pretty well cleared of the precipitation, but still cloudy, high pressure dominating, but this is all high cloudiness, and this will move on across. Here's the jet stream, 160 to 170 miles an hour up at the 34,000-foot level. Now, this is just the core of the jet that you're seeing here. The winds are really quite strong over a rather broad area. And here's the wind shift back to the west. See, north winds, south winds. As this moves on across, and it'll change its configuration considerably, I think we have a chance to get some light rain or some showers tomorrow late in the afternoon, early in the evening. And then I think as we come into Saturday, we'll be in pretty good shape. Sunday, partly cloudy, maybe increasing clouds late in the day. But all in all, not bad weather for the weekend coming up. These are current temperatures as of 10 o'clock. And across the country, it's 19 there at Denver under clear skies, 42 at DFW, 19 at Chicago, -2 at Bismarck. There's 3 degrees up in the Canadian provinces and along the East Coast, varying from the upper 20s to 72 down at Miami. And look how cool it is out in Los Angeles, 43 degrees there. Our forecast for in the morning, I think about 33, 34 here. This will not be solid, although I've shown it as solid green. It'll not be solid rain, but probably less than half of that area will actually have some shower activity in it. I don't expect anything here in the morning at all, except some clouds, but I would look for a little light precipitation later on in the day. Then I think that'll be moving out Friday night into Saturday morning. After our high has reached 48 degrees, the rains will be heavier down along the coast and off to the east. More snow in the northwest and the Great Lakes, and more cold air pushing down to catch the central and eastern part of the country. It's overcast outside now, and the sky not producing any precipitation. Wind southeast at 10 miles an hour. The barometer at the moment reads 30.16, falling. Temperature 39 degrees, the humidity 62%. We've had no precipitation. There's nothing on the radar. So look for temperatures a little above freezing in the morning with southeasterly winds, but warming up rapidly in the afternoon up to almost 50. And then on Saturday, get a little sunshine, partly cloudy, not as cold, up to 55. And Sunday, the clouds may be increasing again, but I think it'll be pleasant for the Cotton Bowl game.
All right. Thanks a lot, Harold. Still ahead tonight. Teenagers and economics. A published report recently said young people don't know much about dollars and cents.
Turns out they have a lot in common with some adults we found. We'll tell you about that in a moment.
If your business isn't growing fast enough to suit you, try Yellow. Place an ad in the Southwestern Bell Yellow Pages. It's the one people use.
Silk, whatever you like.
So your ad will keep new business calling. And that could change the look of things. Whatever your business, it pays to be in yellow. The Yellow Pages from Southwestern Bell. The one to call on.
The Bankston family of fine automobile dealerships. W.O. Bankston, Lincoln, Mercury, Sauber, LBJ. Bankston, Nissan, and Irving on 183. And this week only at W.O. Bankston, Nissan of Dallas and Preston. Get the best deal ever on 89 Sentras from just $69.87. 88 300CX is discounted up to $5,000. The all-new 89 240SX from $256 a month. Or the totally new 89 Maxima from $291 a month. We'd rather sell these new Nissans now than pay taxes on them later. So hurry to W.O. Bankston, Nissan of Dallas and Preston and LBJ across from Valley View Mall.
Finally tonight, get a pencil and paper. Time for a pop quiz on economics.
Yesterday, a published report said that more than half of American high school students could not define basic economic terms. But in fairness to the high school students, the Commerce quiz was complicated. In fact, I bet some of the questions about economics and commerce would stump the people at the U.S. Department of Commerce. Which of the following groups typically is hurt the most by unexpected inflation? Manufacturers, bondholders, borrowers, or farmers?
How about manufacturers?
Bondholders. To promote economic growth, a developing country must increase investment, increase consumption, use the market system, or do central economic planning.
Central economic planning.
Wrong. Increase investment. I think most would agree students should have a good grasp of economics, but this test was a little complicated. I know if I wrote an economics quiz, the questions would be easier to understand. Here, let me show you. Question number 1. Let's say you go to an automatic teller machine, an ATM, and it accidentally gives you $5,000 instead of $50. What should you do? Should you A, tell the bank, B, call the cops, or C, go shopping? See, this is what the test should have been like. Finally, the most basic of economic questions. Let's say you need money. What should you do? Should you A, get a job, B, borrow money, or C, marry a rich but very sick person? See? Economics can be fun. From the Department of Commerce, I'm Steve Ducey, Channel 5 News.
Well, I think that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, I think I'd have failed that test. That's it for our report. Thank you so much for joining us
We'll
tonight.
see you again tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Until then, for Harold, Tim, and the entire Channel 5 News team, good night.
You've been watching Channel 5 News Tonight, celebrating 40 years of leadership in the proud tradition of Texas broadcasting first. Watch Channel 5 News today, tomorrow morning at 6:30, for your first look at the news of the day.